questions. If you wouldn't mind, I'd kind of like to get your personal experience as the learning coach. What was that like for you? Were there any kind of challenges in that role, and maybe what was kind of a success for you as well?
Okay, sure. Yeah, it was interesting because I was also teaching at the same time in a school, and so my days were very, very long. If I would not have had the support of my husband to be able to help with some of the instruction and support for our kids, I don't think I would have been able to have done that. So we kind of divided and conquered. I took, history and literature, and he took science and math, those kinds of things. Music and art, our kids could pretty much do a little more independently, with a little bit of, guidance, but they weren't as critical as those key, courses. And there were times when, we were we were doing a literature story as a bedtime story with my first grader because, we were determined to get in that content and continue to, to move through things. But, and then there were, times too when, we just used all of the available time. My kids developed the ability to be pretty independent learners as well. I could give them some instruction. I could walk away, they could stay on task and, get things done. Now, maybe not always, There were times when my son was frequenting Bionicles.com instead of doing his schoolwork, but that was soon discovered. And, and by the same token, sometimes our high school kids could get pulled into Facebook or those kinds of things because it's on the computer, So, so the key, though, is that I had to watch for quality with my kids, and I had to make sure that they were accomplishing what they needed to. But using the curriculum and all of that, even as an educator, it was all put together very, very well. And having the schedule and everything all laid out, it made it so that my husband could easily follow it, And so if I needed him to pick up an extra lesson and, do something, in literature, for example, with the kids, like he could still do that because it was all laid out, provided, it wasn't like he had to wade through, 6 books to find what he needed. It's just all very clear to be able to follow that part of it. But I, came to this as a traditional homeschooler before I, was in OHVA. And so I kind of knew some of the structure of what we needed. And, knowing that home is not the same as a structured classroom, but you do still have to have some structure to accomplish what you need to. And so that's pretty much how we operated. And definitely great family time. Lots of good laughs and lots of time to, learn together because, I couldn't just be the drill sergeant and be like, do your school, Sometimes I had to take them by the hand and say, okay, what's going on? What's the struggle? Let's walk through this lesson together. Let's do this, And so definitely as far as the success part of it, my kids were very well prepared. They're all adults now. They continued in the school for several years. They did not graduate from the school, but they were very well grounded, very well prepared, and successful for the next leg of their, educational journey, though.